Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today we're gonna make the ranking tier list of all the new units that are coming with the last DLC, Tides of Torment. Now, I have to be honest with you, I was planning to release another video today, but after I spent 8 hours trying to finish it by today, I just realized that, it was not possible. I need at least 6 hours more. It will be one of the biggest video ever made for this channel, and honestly, something that in all the story of Total War Warhammer, nobody of all the giants of the Total War Warhammer YouTube ever made something like that. So I really hope that I will be the first, but I need a lot of hours more to refine it and to complete it, because it will be very big, believe me. And I'm a little sorry if I have to release for this free slot that I had this video that is not the kind of quality that I would like to bring to my channel, because it's very little, the scope it's very limited. But here we are. I hope you will enjoy anyway. For this tier ranking, I decided to put the names of some characters of Game of Thrones, because I'm currently reading the book. I just finished the first one, and I love very much this series. I hope that they can make a Total War Game of Thrones at some point. And yes, my favorite character ever is Tywin Lannister, and the worst ever is Bran Stark. I really dislike him in the series. Every time there were the stories about Bran Stark, I was just skipping, and in the book it's just the same. Okay, and then Jon Snow, it's in the middle, like it's not my favorite, but not even one of the worst. So yeah, probably is the longest intro I ever made. So let's begin. Hi, I'm Alberto, I'm a real person, and here you will find the beginner's guide, the battle unit roster, tier list, ranking, and many shorts. So if you wanna support the channel, please consider to subscribe. Okay, let's start with the melee infantry, and the first unit that we're gonna talk about is the Ship's Company for the High Elves. That is this new low tier front line with a shield and a sword that I recruit a lot of them, okay, especially in my last campaigns when you can boost the naval units. I recruit plenty of them. But if I have to make a direct comparison with the Spearmen, as I already told you in one of my previous videos, there is no competition. The Spearmen are far better at everything. The only situations where the Ship's Company can be better is when you're playing in aquatic maps, so with some water areas, and you are, of course, you're deploying the unit there, or if you are fighting against hordes of melee infantry like with Skaven and vampire counts. But except these very rare situations, at the end the Spearmen are far more versatile. They are more defensive. They have all the anti-large attributes that make them good protection against cavalry and the monsters. That's why I prefer them in any case, even if as I said in my last campaigns, I recruit mostly the Ship's Company, because I like the model, I like the aesthetics, the idea. But yeah, the Spearmen are far better. So if I have to suggest you what to recruit, definitely the Spearmen, and I would skip completely this unit. I put them in the C tier, so between Jon Snow and Bran Stark, only because in some naval armies they can be boosted, and in that case it's great. Then for Norsca we got these two melee infantry, the Marauder Beermen with the shield and little axe, and the Marauder Beermen with the great axe. Now with the great weapons. Now I would like to say that probably many of you already know, but I really dislike the model of the Marauder. The generic Marauders of the Warriors of Chaos and the Norsca. I hate them, and I hate to recruit them. That's why I'm so happy that we received this new model, new skin, because now you really have the feeling of these Norscan warriors with this bear pelt kin over their shoulders, these helmets, and these weapons. It's everything perfect about these units. They are something between the Marauders and the Marauders champions. So in a very high tier, late campaign army Probably the Marauders champions are better, definitely, but still, as a, you know, cost-effective unit, I think that they are the best. Okay, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on your melee infantry and just save it to take some bigger monsters and so on, this is the perfect option. You can boost them with the Björk, and then they have the immunity to psychology, so they will not get frightened by monsters and basically monsters attacking them. That is great because if you need to use them as a layer of defense, okay, the fact that they will not get frightened by monsters make them more resilient and, you know, with the less chance for them to just rout and run away. That's why for me they are the perfect choice. Probably the one with shield is a little better because I mean, if you need to deal armor piercing damage at the end, you have plenty of options with the Norsca, with all the monsters and so on. So I would just put it into the snow, the Joe Snow tier. And then we get for Slaanesh, first the Slangers. That is, as I said, a unit that I was not very hyped about because I thought it could be just, you know, an anti-infantry redundant unit compared to the Dark Elves. But at the end, they are a mid-shield anti-infantry. A mid-shield with a lot of entities. They are 120, that is a lot, with a very wide formation. So they are perfect as a filler. They are perfect to, you know, to attack the enemy, to try, to circle around the enemies, and they are a lot, so they are very hard to take down, and they have all the Slaanesh attributes that are great for a melee infantry. And yeah, probably I will put them into the A tier. After them, I can tell you that I stopped. In my armies that they didn't focus on Demonettes, and they don't have the bonuses for Demonettes or Marauders. I was recruiting only them because they were definitely the best melee infantry and very accessible because they are cheap. Then we get the Dark Elves, the devotees of Slaanesh, Dark Elves with dual swords. That even in this case they are great. They are kinda more elite. You need an advanced building. That's why you may require a little before recruiting them. And yeah, there's something between the Warriors of Chaos and the Demonettes because they are high charge, high heavy weapon strength unit, but they lack armor compared to the Warriors of Chaos. So depends how you're building your army. I didn't recruit a lot of them in my campaigns because I was directly using the version with the crossbow, but I think that they still do their job well. That's why we'll put them into the Joe Snow. Then we get the devotees of Slaanesh with the crossbows that have the same stats, the same melee stats of the version with the dual weapons. That's why they are better than them, just for this. And then they get this range attack that is very powerful. Their range could have been a little better in my opinion, but they have the armor piercing damage, and yeah, we really needed a missile unit, a missile infantry unit for Slaanesh. That's why for me they are a Tywin Lannister tier unit, so the best for now. That they are crazy. Okay, they are very, very stubborn in melee. When they engage in melee combat, they are great. Okay, they don't sacrifice any power compared to the other version, so you don't have to worry about them. And then their missile attack, it's very dangerous and powerful, so they deserve to be here. Now let's talk about the cavalry coming with this DLC, and the first two units that we got for Norsca are the Kurgan horsemen. That is this light cavalry of low mid tier, and this is one of my biggest problem with them because the fact that they are very low tier makes them not strong from the mid campaign on, and at the end they do the same job of the Marauders horsemen with the range weapons. Okay, you don't use them differently because they cannot deal the fight with. They cannot fight well against all the other cavalry, against the melee infantry. So they're good at the same stuff. That is tearing apart melee infantry, artillery, or some very weak and vulnerable units. That's why I didn't recruit a lot of them, especially the version with the great weapons, because because yeah, you have armor piercing damage, but at the end every unit with a little of armor will manage to defeat you. So yeah, probably the version with the great weapons is the Bronze Stark tier, so the worst, and the version with the dual weapons probably in the C tier, just because I don't know, they can be a little better. I mean, since they are a little better in melee, you can use them, but believe me, for the same purpose, you can just use the Marauder, the Marauder Horseman with the range weapons that they have, the additional range weapons that is far stronger, and at the end you can just use them in melee against the missile infantry and so on. I mean, if you have to play against, I don't know, a missile unit of the dwarves, maybe this is better, but I mean, it's very rare, so I think it's good into the C tier. And then we got the Pleasure Seeker for Slaanesh, that, as I told you, they are probably the most overpowered unit of the game. Yeah, at this point I think of the game, I'm generally think that they will debuff it, because I mean, it's too insane. There are some anti-large infantry that this cavalry can charge at the front, okay, not even try to hit the flank, and they will still win the fight against. I mean, it's impossible, something that never happened in this game. And yeah, so they definitely deserve to be at this tier. They also have the shield, then they're very fast. They have the devastating flanker, the strider. So yeah, they have no weaknesses. Okay, even against missile attack, at the end they are strong, they are tough, they have the shield. Against the other anti-large monsters or cavalry, they are faster than them in most of cases, so they can even just escape. In any case, they are very strong. So yeah, no weaknesses. They have no weaknesses. Now let's talk about Chariots, and in particular the Lothern Skycutter's Chariots for the High Elves. Now there is something that I want to share with you. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, because maybe it's a secret. I just hope that no one in Creative Assembly will kick me out of the program, of the partner program, for having said that. But I don't think it's something, I mean, in that case I can just remove it from the video. Basically, at the beginning there was supposed to be a regiment or renowned version of the Lothern Skycutter, but with only melee stats, so with no range weapons. Okay, something quite weird. I don't know what was about, but I mean, it's just funny to consider that they wanted to create, a Lothern Skycutter chariot, but good only, at charging in and fighting in engaged in melee other units. I mean, I just wanted to share you that. So please, Creative Assembly, don't kick me out. It was not. I mean, just hope that. Anyway, we have the version with the range attack with the archers atop the chariot. Now this unit is a little tricky to me, because aesthetically they are awesome, they are amazing. I recruit many of them because they're so majestic. Okay, you see these big birds that are pulling the flying magical chariots. That I mean, it's crazy. But at the end, the unit itself, I mean, there is not something it's actually good at. It's just a constant support that you have to babysit a little, because if there are some missile infantry in the enemy army, they will tear them apart. If there are some flying units faster than you in the enemy army, they will hunt you down. So yeah, if the enemy army is made of only melee, I mean, not missile melee units, not flying, also, in that case they can be very strong. But I mean, we're talking about a rare circumstance, and in many battles I found myself that I could not deploy them properly, because they were exposed to many weaknesses. And yeah, that's why I think they would be into the C tier. They are great, and their range weapons is a little better than what you can expect from an archer, but they're still very limited in number. In melee, they are not that great. They can destruct some missile infantry, but at the end, yes, I would not suggest you strongly to recruit them. And then there is the version with the artillery piece with the bolt thrower. No, sorry, is the contrary. That for me in this case is one of the best units of the roster. You get basically a mobile artillery piece that can shoot at everything with a lot of destructive power. The range is a little less than the generic eagle bolt thrower. slower, but at the end, I mean, who cares? You can move it around the battlefield as much as you want. They're very versatile in this way, and then you can even use them in melee. Okay, if you finish the ammunition or you really need to to keep busy a missile infantry of the enemy, you can just engage in melee with them and they will have no problem, and then you can start to shoot with the artillery piece again. So for me, they deserve to be in the biggest tier. Now let's talk about the Monstrous Infantry, and let's start with the Oceanids, the new and the first Monstrous Infantry for the high Elves. Now, even this unit for me is a little tricky. I don't know where should I put them. Basically, they are supposed to be a defensive units, even if in a blog they say that this is a damage dealer, but believe me, they are not. But like in many occasions, I saw them that they were losing the fight against even against some melee infantry. Okay, that they are not anti-large. Okay, just melee infantry. That they are supposed to be the main target for them. So why you're losing the fight against a melee infantry? This is just crazy. And at the same time, as a damage dealer, even in the long battles, I was seeing that they were not dealing that much damage. Okay, just they were keeping the other unit busy, but I mean, they had no key role in that. And I have to say that again, the model, the animation is incredibly awesome. So I recruit them for this reason, and to build my naval theme armies. But at the end, I mean, as a unit itself, I don't know, they're not that expensive, so probably they just wanted to create this mid shield, I mean, a little better against, armored units, because they have a lot of, not armor piercing, they have no armor piercing damage, but they have a lot of resistance, so against like a high tier, high tier defensive units, I would say, they perform well, but I don't know. At the end, I think they are quite. Yeah, I mean, I just know army. I think it's okay for me. Then we get the champions of Slaanesh. This is another unit, another incredible unit for me. They are basically these. I mean, they are supposed to be monstrous infantry, so large entities. But at the end, they are. I mean, they are the size of a normal human. That's why they can move very, elusively around the map. If there are some space between some units and you need to reach the target that is beyond them, you can definitely do it. They are very mobile. They're very hard to catch with the missile attack because they are little. They can deflect a little of missile attacks and so on. And then they deal a lot of damage. I never had problem with them in my campaign. I mean, I never found myself in the situation that they were losing the combat. They were incredible, and yeah, for me, they are another Tywin Lannister unit because they have no weaknesses and they just love to use them. Now we can finally address the monsters category, and let's start with the Praetor. Now, as I told you in my previous videos, I'm a little disappointed by this unit. I really think they should buff it a little, because for now it's a very high tier, very expensive unit. It's very, very expensive, even compared to the other flying monsters. So you expect a lot of things from it, but at the end it just doesn't. Okay, and I'm not talking about the aesthetics that I mean, definitely it doesn't look that much Slaanesh, but I mean, I like the model. They did I mean, they made it great, but yeah, it's just not good. Okay, it's supposed to be an anti-large monster, but against most of the other monsters, he loses the fight. I showed you in a video, I mean, before that, like against a little fleet, I mean, not little fleet, sorry, a flying unit of the plague drones of Nargo, it was losing the fight. How you can lose the fight? I mean, this is supposed to be your prey. Okay, the large anti-large flying monsters, they have to win against the group of large the flying cavalry. So how it's possible that you lose this fight? It's supposed to be easy peasy for you. That's why I don't understand. Against the melee infantry, it's not that great. It's not tanky. It has this ability that is very weird. No breath attack. So yeah, I'm sorry to say that, but probably they are in the C tier, because yeah, I cannot make a good use of it. I would like to know more opinions from you when you will be able to play it, but for now this is my decision. Then for the high elves we got the Mervyn. Now, as I told you in my previous video, this is the one of the most expensive unit in all the game, and one of the biggest monsters is between it and Dread Saurian. The prize as the biggest monster of the game. It's very slow. It's supposed to be another anti-large monster, and in this case it's great. He wins the fight against most of the other monsters, but it's very slow, it's very big, and being so big means that when you get surrounded by infantry, by all different units, you will take a lot of damage, and even if you get the regeneration, that is a very big point, you will still suffer a lot. And when I play against it, believe me, it's not that hard to take down. Okay, it's a very easy target, even if it's that big with the regeneration and so on. It's still great, and I had a lot of fun with it. I would still suggest you to use it in a late campaign army. But yes, it's very big. It will be prioritized by the enemy, so you have to babysitting a lot. But yeah, I think it's overall great. And then we got the Sea Elemental. The Sea Elemental is a unit I'm in love with. I think this is one of the best animation they ever created for this game, and yeah, it's fighting moves are so soft, so gentle, and at the same time so destructive. Okay, because it can really just move from one side to the other from one side to the other of the enemy army with a little charge. And yes, all these waves, it can really disrupt the formation, okay, in the literal meaning, because you can put it into the middle of the enemy army, and at some point all the armies, all the units, all the entities, sorry, of the enemies will be, in different location. That's why it's great for me. And then yes, I think it's compared to the Oceanids, it's better at both, so at absorbing and at dealing damage. That's why it's an A tier unit. Definitely. Then for Norsca we got 3 monster. We can start with the Chimera. Why not? Okay, this unit is great also. It's something between the Manticore and the Chaos Frost Dragon, but it's a little better at if you have to hunt down a particular unit, is probably better than the Chaos Frost Dragon, that is more the tanky flying monster. There is a breath attack, and then the poison effect, magical effect. I love the lore behind the Chimera. And yes, I use it a lot, but yeah, at the same time it can be a little weak. I don't know, it's something between the A and the Joe Snow tier. Probably more, I would say more Joe Snow. Come on, okay. It's not, I still like to use it, and I make a very good use of that, but yeah, probably not in my must to recruit army. Then we get the Dread Maw, that it's probably is the trickiest unit here. Honestly, my experience with it changed a little over time. I'm still using it a lot in my campaign with the Wolfric now, but yeah, I have mixed feelings. From one side, it's very funny and quite strong. It doesn't go down that easily. It goes down by itself, but not for the willing of the enemy. The missile attack, it can be strong in the long term, and then this explosion ability can literally destroy units. Of course, you have to respect the cooldown. So you have to manage a little all this stuff, but overall it deals plenty of damage. My only problem with that is that it requires a lot of micromanagement. That is something that I hate. In a faction with the Norsca that already you have many in a defensive faction it would have been different, but in a faction that you have to play offensively, charging and attack with all the different monsters, and there are the monsters better against cavalry, the monsters better against infantry, and so on. getting this other monster that you have to think all the time what he's doing, why, and so on. It just, you know, it's tiring sometimes, but I think it's still great, and I will put it into the Joe Snow category. Then we get the Cursed Atin. Now, the Cursed Atin, it's in two versions, the Rune Color that is more magical, and the normal version that is more physical. I like both of them. They're not that expensive compared to other monsters of the same size, and they're very great at what they do. They are an easy target for missile attack, but not an easy target for melee infantry and melee units in general. That's why they're very great. They're very resilient. I never had problem of health with them. They all have these dual personalities, abilities that they changes now. I don't remember honestly, but yeah, it's great. It's they really, you know, took care of the lore of how to depict, how to represent this unit properly into the game. So I really respect that. And yeah, probably I will put them both into the normal version in the A tier and the Rune Color in the Tywin Lannister, because yeah, it's great for me. I love it, and yeah, they're such great additions to the game. Now, just to make a judgment overall of the roster that we got with this DLC, as you can see, I think we got a lot of overpowered units. I'm not someone that you know, cover this bar of the OP units all the time. So if I do that, is because I really think that these units are the best of their rosters. And then yes, a lot of good addition, pretty funny. I'm sorry about some units that they could get a little buffed, like the Kurgan Horseman, the Praeton, the Ship's Company. But at the end, I think it's a very cool DLC, and I hope you will enjoy.